there everybody, I'm Rosslyn. Welcome to Orkney and welcome to my third full playthrough of the Emerald Sunstone by Steve Jackson. This is the prototype fighting fantasy adventure as published in Puffin Post back in 1982. So it starts at paragraph 4 and one of these, that'll be why it starts at 4. The first 3 would have been editorial or whatever, and then it would have been started being printed on page 4, no doubt. It's quite a cool way, in fact, of presenting this. It's really well designed, especially when this was a new concept. What a phenomenal idea. I would have loved that as a kid. Anyway, the Emerald Sunstone is a simple branching narrative adventure without any kind of game system because it hadn't been invented yet. And so I'm just going on an adventure and picking choices. I'll read the blurb at the start because it's not very long, and then we'll get on with the adventure. See if I do well this time. Spoiler, I didn't do well before. The Emerald Sunstone by Steve Jackson. You crash through the locked door. When you pick yourself up and brush the wood splinters from your leather tunic, you look around the room and see a strange scene. The room is bathed in an eerie green glow. As your eyes adjust to the dim light, you can make out various shapes in the room. Along one wall is a huge mural depicting a group of leering goblins taunting a large ugly creature, brandishing a wooden club. To your horror, the figures in the mural are actually moving on the wall itself. In one corner of the room stands a table, and on it is an open casket. The room's green glow appears to emanate from within the casket. You squint to see what else is in the corner of the room. And you can just make out a large silhouetted shape. A man of some kind is sitting at the table. Your hand reaches for the hilt of your sword. The shape from the corner barks out a command in a strange language. Startled by the sound, you spin around towards the mural to see 6 goblins peeling themselves off the wall. They now stand before you, fully armed and advancing. Your mission is to return the jewel to its rightful owner. Remember that you now have 6 goblins about to attack. So I get 4 options, but it's not really an option, is it? I mean, there's the goblins, we've got to deal with them. Draw your sword and spring towards them, or throw your sword at the man behind the table, or run across the room towards the box and try to grab it, or bid them all a swift goodbye and nip back out the room. I will attempt to throw my sword at the man behind the table. He's clearly the commander of these goblins, some kind of magician or sorcerer, I don't know. You throw your sword towards the black shape. As it leaves your hand, another sharp command comes from the corner. Your blade stops in mid-flight and, hangs hovering in the air. I didn't think of this. You spring over and grab it as the goblins are almost upon you. Good. You turn and face the creatures. I thought I might be getting stabbed by my own sword there while defenceless. That would be bad. And very, very on brand for this, actually, yes. Right, now the goblins are just advancing. They come towards me one by one. You chop down the first 3 and mortally wound the 4th in its sword arm. The 5th you slam in the face with the hilt of your sword, knocking it senseless. There is 1 left. Turn to page 17. The last goblin swings its sword at your neck. You may be hit by this dangerous blow. Like say, it is just an insta-death here if I lose, so I'm going to cheat and say that my random roll, because I have to pick 2 paragraph numbers or page numbers is the idea, and add them together, divide it by 3, doodly-doodly-doo. Is that like a 33% chance of death, I think, is it? Yeah, I think so. So it's, no fun, is it? So, let's just say I've parried the blow and run the goblin through. I am not dead and don't have to start again. So, I'm going to page, or paragraph, 11. You advance towards the shape in the corner. You can make out that it is indeed a man wearing a black cowl, but he appears to have no face. You light your lantern and shine it towards him. To your surprise, he shrieks and backs off into another corner door, allowing you to grab the casket and leave the room. In the corridor outside, you can see a door opposite and another on the right further down. I recall the door opposite being trouble. I'm going to go to the next door down. You try the handle and the door opens. Seated in the room is an old man. Ha! An old man with grey hair, rocking slowly in a rocking chair. His head is in his hands. He looks up at you vacantly and continues rocking. You ask him what ails him, and he tells you that his Emerald Sunstone has been stolen, and he doesn't know how to get it back. I don't be believing him. Will you give him your casket, or just ignore him and leave the way you came? Yep, let's just leave that alone for reasons A. Further down the corridor, you come to a crossroads. Will you turn right or left? Or go straight across? Am I having to make a map already? I didn't realise this was a thing. Should have, that's on me. Making myself a little map in case it's needed. Got a little arrow for my direction I'm coming because it doesn't have direction north or anything. That's fine. So 3 options are straight ahead, turning right or turning left. I'm going to turn right this way. Just feels right. That's how I always played these when I couldn't decide, and it's just an arbitrary choice like this. For better or worse. Anyway, some way down the corridor you come to a door. A notice on the wall reads, Apothecary. Very nice. You turn the handle and enter a room in which a man sits surrounded by bottles and jars. He offers you a sample of one of his potions. Oh, to drink or to take? I was laughing because I was like, we gon' die. Will you take some of his green liquid or the blue liquid or return to the crossroads? He must be at the end of this junction then, so I'm going to draw his apothecary here and draw 2 options. Green and blue, wasn't it? Well, it's another arbitrary choice. I will take the blue liquid this time, I think. And are we drinking this or what? Let's see. As you drink the liquid, the man chuckles. Nicely or nastily, I don't know. You feel you feel a strange tingle. And to your horror, your nose is growing rapidly from your face. Oh, the man laughs loudly at his practical joke. That is funny. He gives you a pill which he claims is the antidote and ushers you out of the room. You take the pill, but it does nothing. His door is now locked, and you decide to return to the crossroads, but you now have a nose 20 centimetres long. Let me just mark that down. I'll make myself a little... I didn't make myself a character sheet. I underestimated this. Nose equals 20 km long. I'm putting on here. Smashing. And that's... I'll put a little arrow up there from the blue potion that I picked. Brilliant. Smashing. Love it. So back at the crossroads, and I assume I went to the right that time. So back at the crossroads, you can go right or go straight across. So this is from the perspective of me coming back out of the door, because I went right last time, and now we're getting options for straight ahead or going to the right, which would have been straight ahead and left before. So I will go straight across, which on my map is left. That's fine now. I still want to get my map all faffed up. Right. No, left. Anyway. Confused myself. Right. You approach a door. You can hear muffled screams coming from inside. You throw the door open and see 2 evil orcs torturing an elf who is bound to a stake in the middle of the room. If you wish to rescue the elf, that's something I can try and do. I can leave and go back to the crossroads. I mean, orcs torturing an elf. It's a classic. I can't be leaving the poor elf to be tortured, I think. Let's be trying to help, eh? The orcs have had their fun and agree to free the elf if you can answer one question. They ask you, what is the title of Puffin's first fighting fantasy gamebook? If you answer correctly, turn to page 18. If you can't remember, go to page 20. That is The Warlock of Firetop Mountain. It came out on August the 27th, 1982. It's an easy one for me to remember because I came out on August the 27th, 1981. Yes, indeed! Hashtag cool nerd lore! So yes, no, that is exactly what it was. That was the first one in this series. Of course it was. Followed up in the 90s, of course, by the 50th one, Return to Firetop Mountain, which would be the first one I bought new. All of the rest I think I got from charity shops up until then because they were not advertised in the Scottish Children's Books catalogue. We didn't get the Puffin one. We got just one book catalogue that was all mixed stuff. I think Puffin just got one page in it. And yeah, the first time they advertised was number 50. And I was like, this is still being made because I hadn't paid attention. I got the Warlock of Firetop Mountain from a charity shop in 1987, and I was like, I just thought this was a totally dead fandom since always. I didn't know they were still being made. But yeah, I bought that one from the school book catalogue, and everyone thought I was such a fucking dork, but that's fine. They were probably all buying books about football and horses or something boring, so I got to go on an adventure in the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. It's not actually telling me the answer, but that is definitely what it is. I even have it knocking about somewhere because I was going to do a playthrough of it. Oh, it's sat over there. I can see it from here. But I can't show it off. For anyone who doesn't know, it is definitely the correct answer. It's got a big 1 on it. It's one of the classic green spines. And it's been re-released a whole bunch of times. I've got the other one from Scholastic sat over there too, because I was looking at the art. Anyway, I have answered correctly, I'm sure of it, somehow. And also, can we just appreciate how fucking weird these fantasy orcs are? But okay, I guess I shouldn't ask too many questions since they are apparently releasing the elf and leaving disappointed. The elf thanks you and tells me his story. The Emerald Sunstone belongs to his bride, an elf princess. And I'm going to put a room wee an elf in it there. Right. They happened to cross this dungeon by accident and were captured inside. He was taken off by the orcs, but she was turned into an ogre and imprisoned in a living mural on the dungeon master's wall. That all seems a lot of that seems unnecessary to do. Oh well, he's obviously a weirdo, this bad guy. You both set off for the dungeon master's room. Okay, so we've got an elf ally. That's good. I assume that must be the final route, which would have been straight ahead and then to the right after I'd gone to the Apothecary. So I'm going to write that in here because there's no other place for it to fit on the map. I think it's like a three-room map, really. Anyway, I don't know. Because it says we return to the Dungeon Master's room, but I've not been there yet. Anyway, you return to the Dungeon Master's room. The elf grabs a sword from the floor and advances towards the black shape of a man sitting in the corner. Is it the same guy as before? Dunno. You go up to the mural and offer the casket to the ugly creature on the wall. Oh, because we already have the scoop that's the elf bride, right? So the ugly creature on the wall reaches out to take the jewel. As its hands close around the sunstone, a transformation takes place. Oh, brilliant. The ogre's skin becomes fair and soft, and its ugly face takes on the beautiful features of an elf princess. She steps out of the wall. You have found the owner of the Emerald Sunstone. The end. Oh, wonderful fight. I thoroughly enjoyed that, actually. I think that will have shown kids really, really well the concept that they were making here. Because bear in mind at this point, I mean, from the sounds of it, they had come out with, yeah, it was 1982 they came out with it, of course. So it had just come out when they made this. But still, dang, they would have to. Yeah, that's all of it. Wow, fit into 25 quite short paragraphs. That's a lot of adventure to fit in. Let me just show you this thing. This is the bulk of it. It starts at 4. Most of it's on these 2 pages. I think that's a really nice little adventure. I have thoroughly enjoyed that. I hope you have enjoyed me for this. My 3rd and final playthrough of the Emerald Sunstone. That was really good. I will say toodaloo the new. I hope to see you for further playthroughs of Fighting Fantasy and other game books. Bye bye for now though.